Welcome to the Ohio AgNet podcast. I'm Matt Reese. I'm the editor for Ohio's Country Journal, joined by the amazing Dusty Sonnenberg with Ohio AgNet. And today, I told him earlier, I called 4 or 5 people and none of them could do it. But on my 6th phone call, I finally got a hold of Jeff Duling, who agreed to talk with us today. Thanks, Jeff. Jeff is the president for the Federation of Soil and Water Conservation Districts in Ohio and a Putnam County farmer and all-around great guy. So thanks for being with us this morning.
Awesome to be here.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't come out of the gate and talk about last week. Dusty and I had quite a week last week. And in fact, our entire staff had quite a week last week. Joel Penorwood was in Washington, D.C. With Joe Everett. Both of them are county presidents. And they were on the county president's trip for that. Dusty and I were in Commodity Classic. And Jeff was traveling to California. Jeff, you want to tell us just briefly about your trip out there?
Yeah. Cargill, I'm in their Regen Connect program with their carbon credit program, and I've done another talk for Cargill, but they sent Brenda, my wife, Brenda, and I out to Anaheim, California, and we flew in there Tuesday, and then Wednesday was when I had to do my speech, and they asked me to talk to these Californians. I had 15 minutes to talk about my life as a farmer, but mainly it was about conservation, the big word regenerative ag. Explain to them, farmers in Ohio, yeah, it's a word, but we don't use it in a daily sentence, but I brought up the cover crops, soil health, mental health, talked about my family, went over big. After the speech, had a guy from Ireland come up, just blown away. Thailand, talked to a lady from Nottingham, England. So this was a big crowd. It was worldwide. I found out there was 67,000 people registered to come to this event, and I think it lasted till Saturday. But I'm not a big organic person yet. Non-GMO. I'm a farmer that raises corn, beans, and wheat, and freezer beef, and hogs and chickens, and have some honeybees, but they out there, it's the big words are organic and plant-based food. That's the one that really bothered me. And I love my bacon.
Don't we all? And then you're going to be talking along a similar lines, more focused on the no-till and the cover crops at this week's Conservation Tillage Conference in Ada. You're on a panel there, and that's always a really exciting event. I've been seeing you there for a lot of years. We typically get to chat a little bit at that. What's it looking like for the panel here? You're on this week. That's March 14th and 15th this week at the Conservation Tillage Conference. What are you talking about?
Got 3 big names beside me. I bet they did the same thing again, called around. They couldn't find that 4th person, and finally said, oh, let's bring Jeff Duling on, But no, we have Nathan Brown from Highland County. Awesome. Just good friend of mine. Big promoter of the sweatshirts.
Yeah, and I got to show you. Look, right here. I got it on too.
I got the new style out.
I know yours is nice.
Bigger.
What you need is some hog manure though on that nice white sweatshirt.
No. And then I have Les Seiler, which is a big deal. He just won the National Conservation Legacy Award. I mean, his family, they've been big promoters of the soil health realm. So, and then Bill Richards from Pickaway County. You can't find a better lineup there. So it'll be interesting where this will go. I think we're supposed to talk about soil health and cover crops. So it's always fun to sit on a panel like that and see where it goes. So.
And that leads us into some of the audio we've got this week. So Dusty and I, again, we're in Commodity Classic. And Dusty, so if you go to our Facebook page, Jeff, and look at what we've been doing, it looks like Dusty was working a lot. There's a lot of pictures of Dusty interviewing people. And you can look, and you don't see any pictures of me interviewing people. And I want to point out that's not because I wasn't working. It's because I was taking all the pictures, right? So both of us were working. Dusty will vouch for me, I think. He'll vouch for me.
I got a feeling he was looking for the ice cream booth.
I'm always looking for the ice cream booth.
Yeah, he never did find the ice cream booth, I think, but he did get a lot of good pictures. And Matt, it was crazy the number of Ohio people we ran into out there, a number of interviews we were able to get, and just a great show all in all. I think especially when we have folks like the Silers from Ohio highlighted with the Conservation Legacy Award. It was just a good event all in all.
Mm-hmm. So we've got audio with them coming up. In addition to that, the fantastic Brianna Gwirtz. While we were all running around the country, our field reporter, Brianna, who lives up in Northeast Ohio, ran over to a meeting in near East Palestine talking about the train derailment with a roundtable with farmers, the Ohio Department of Agriculture, EPA, and so forth. And they really sat down and addressed some of the concerns that are out there. And Brianna did a great job running out to get that. And so we've got some audio from that visit as well. And Joel Penorwood was out in Washington, D.C., and so he has some audio from that trip that'll all be coming up next in the podcast. So be sure to check that out. And we're going to have much, much more from Jeff Duling. We're going to talk about these handsome sweatshirts and what a great guy he is in general, which I'm sure he's excited to talk about.
Just awesome.
So be sure to check that out. That'll be in our podcast. It's up at ocj.com. The link is going to be in the comments on this post and up in the comments above as well. So be sure to check that out. And we will we're going to have Mike Hannawald on next week to talk about agronomics. So be sure to stay tuned for next week's podcast as well. Thanks all for tuning in to the Ohio AgNet podcast.